I hereby welcome Gaurav to the stage. With attitude leads to experience, experience leads to knowledge. Gaurav, attitude leads to experience, experience leads to knowledge. Thank you. You may start.
We are all here at Toastmasters Club, Patna Toastmasters Club precisely, to get better at two things. First, communication, and second, leadership. Over the past 27 years of my life, if there is one thing that I have observed which has helped me to win or to succeed, it has always been the 360-degree growth. So you may ask me, what is that 360-degree growth? Let's take today's context. In today's context, let's take technology, communication, and leadership. These three, 1/3 technology, 1/3 communication, and 1/3 leadership. Let's take an example. How many of you use mobile phone, laptop, or any electronic device? Just raise your hand. Right? So you understand what I'm talking about. How many of you use communication platform like Zoom, like WhatsApp, like Facebook, Instagram, and so on? Raise your hand. The third component, which is the third 1/3 component, how many of you give a thought on the messages that you are sending across? Because there involves leadership. Raise your hand. You understand electronic devices. You understand communication platform. Easy, simple. But let's dig deeper when it comes to decision making and leadership. Because we are talking about WhatsApp and other social media platform, what I will do is I'll consider taking it along the journey that we are at. Whenever we are using WhatsApp, there are 5 different things that comes into perspective. Number 1, whom you are talking with. Number 2, what are you talking on? Number 3, when are you sending that text or message, audio or video, you name it. Number 4, what is the risk associated with it? And number 5, what's the benefit you're going to reap out of it, or the sender is going to reap out of it, or the mutual benefit? Fair? Agree? Raise your hand. Thank you so much. Let's start with first. Whom you are talking with. There is a common saying, and I would quote, it's very important to know someone whom you're talking with, and it's equally important to know how well that somebody knows you. I unquote. Why I gave you this quote here under this whom to contact? It's because this very saying sets the environment. Now, when I say environment, what I mean is the context, whether it's the formal environment, it's the semi-formal, or it's the informal, right? And based on that, you take the decision. That's the first thing. The second thing that comes into perspective is what to communicate. Now, when you are thinking of this, it could be just the message in the form of information, like Chiti asked for the title, or it could be knowledge sharing, yeah, or it could be even asking questions, etc., etc. So that's what are you communicating on? Then comes the third topic, which is probably the most critical among the 5, which is the time factor. When are you sending that message? And here's the ground rule, the 3 ground rules for everybody. Something that I use on daily basis. Formal, semi-formal, and informal. When you're sending formal messages, contents, make a habit of sending it during office hours. When it is semi-formal, make it a habit of sending it during plus or minus 2 hours from the office hours. Okay, 2 hours before, 2 hours after. Informal, still make it a habit of sending it either 4 hours before or 4 hours after. Why I'm saying this? Because I've experimented it by myself, and there are leading institutions who are experimenting it while we are talking here. They say that when you respect person and when they respect their timing, you, in fact, gain respect from them. That's very important. Then comes the risk. If you are good enough in understanding technology, communication, making right leadership decisions or decision making that comes with it, along with whom you are talking with, what are you talking with, when are you sending the message, you have won half the battle. When you have won half the battle, believe me, at the receiving end, you are going to be an outright winner. So that's what? That's the risk factor, because if you are not able to do your job properly, huge risk, my friend. Then comes benefit. Again, it's all associated, it's all connected, it's all interlinked. So here's the thing. When you do the proper encoding, when you have that right message sent across in right time window to right person, you are going to reap benefit out of it. Receiver is going to get benefit out of it. It's a win-win combination. Now, in doing all these, the things that I helped you with, technology, communication, and leadership, they are undercurrents. Undercurrents in the form of 3 things. And that's right there in the title, my friend. Attitude, experience, and knowledge. Now I'm going to take you on a journey to understand, because it's very important to understand these 3 factors. And to help you, I'm going to use the staircase model. At the bottom sits knowledge, above that sits experience, and right at the top sits attitude. So here's the thing for you. Knowledge. When you master the art of getting better at communication, getting better at decision making, and getting better at understanding technology, you have gained the knowledge. Excellent. Now, second factor is the experience. The more iteration you make, the more comfortable you get, right? And the more comfortable you get, the more experience you are at it, right? So that's very important, right? Now, the third thing that we have to think about here is the attitude. Now, why I'm saying this has got a reason. Okay, the reason is that whenever we are thinking of attitude, this is how I take it. You may consider it as well. I think about the sensitivity of mine and people around me. Okay, and I give equal weightage to both. Now, what I mean by that, I basically mean that I keep microscope at one end and telescope at the another. So one eye, microscope, another eye, telescope. Very important. That way, I'm able to talk, to communicate, discuss, ask questions, take it back, ponder upon it, come back again, ask questions again, and then come to conclusion. So it is very important to have right attitude and not just good experience and great knowledge. I had many years of darkness in my life, and I have talked about it in previous sessions. I had little to no support, but at least there was one thing with me, that was the willpower. The willpower to succeed no matter what happens. And I still work on making it even stronger. So if you have got the attitude filled with listening, filled with communication, filled with leadership, there's a high chance that you are going to win, and you're going to win in almost every situation that's going to come your way. I hope these messages helped you to understand the different aspects of approaching your life. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have that standing ovation for Toastmaster Gaurav. Wonderful.